today is my first official entry in my August writing vlog. Today I'm actually starting it with something really cool. Cool thing number one is that I am currently in my new reading / office room of my new apartment. As you can see behind me, these are my bookshelves. I have the 3, and I actually also have fairy lights up there, and that wraps around through this wall over here. A little preview of, you know, this room. And right now I'm sitting at my desk, and I haven't had a desk since I was in school for my junior year when I lived in my sorority house. So having a desk has been very nice. So the second really cool thing is that today I drove 3 hours to Naperville, Illinois, which is one of the Chicago suburbs if you're not familiar. There was an event with Mary E. Pearson, who is the author of Kiss of Deception, Heart of Betrayal, and the latest book, the last book of the series that came out this past Tuesday, The Beauty of Darkness. And I didn't finish it, which I wanted to before I went to the event. It was great. It was so fantastic to finally meet Mary, because if you've been following my writing for a while, you might know that I hosted some Twitter chats with Mary for NanoWriMo. So it was really cool to see her and take pictures with her and get my book signed. So that came full circle. She was like my last favorite author that I haven't met yet. My other 3 being Morgan Rhodes, Obvi, Lee Berdugo, and Veronica Rossi. So now I've met all my favorite authors, and that's something that wouldn't have happened if I never started a booktube channel. So I did film a little bit of the event, not very much, but I just kind of wanted to get some of her writing answers when people ask some writing process questions, so I will put them right here.
It's really hard to let go of a story, and I thought I'm not just going to jump right in. I'm going to make that idea wait for a little bit, see what else kind of surfaces. And so I'm not saying I won't do it, but it's not, I'm giving the other ideas a chance. But everything, I have basically 3 ideas simmering, and they're all fantasy. One of these 3 ideas, once I get home, see, I've been so like on the go, and I'm very much one of these people that has to just sit and stare at a wall and go for long walks and really let things sort of materialize in my head, and then I can, decide which one is really I'm going to stick with for. I mean, how long does it take to write a book or a series? Years. So it really has to be something that grabs you.
And here,
The most helpful thing, it's really hard. You can't ever grab a process that somebody else does entirely, because our creative brains all work differently. You write down scenes on Post-it notes. And then I have a big whiteboard in my office, and it's divided into 4, like just big marker lines across it to divide it into 4 sections. And when I think of a scene that is like, oh, this would really be, perfect, I write it on a Post-it note, and I put it about where I think it's going to go, like beginning, middle, and the middle gets kind of like 2 sections, or the end. And I keep adding all of these Post-it notes. And the thing I really like about that, because I am very much an organic writer, I'm not really an outliner, is that I can take those Post-it notes really quickly and move them to different places, or I can just take them off entirely and say, no, that's not going to work. I'll just throw that one out. If you are sort of an organic kind of writer that not totally likes to write by the seat of your pants, you need to sort of see where you're headed, and that's what the Post-it notes do. I'm heading towards this scene. Then I see, maybe I have to modify that. So that's kind of it's beginning to end, but I do have like these little guideposts that I'm heading towards.
and here's another one.
Started out, so it's like, okay, I have to wait for inspiration to hit me again. But I've learned that you can jumpstart inspiration. And really, a lot of times what it is, it's the intimidation of the white blank page. You sit down at a computer, you see this blank page, and you go, oh, I have to create again, and it's overwhelming. The blank page is intimidating. But sometimes it's not just that it's blank. You're just like, oh, maybe you're really loving your story at that point. And I've had, that sort of like, I really like this last scene, and now I have to do some of this other stuff. And having daily goals, one thing I do is I am a religious word count keeper. And so I write down my word count every single day. I set goals, and I know about how much I have to do in order to meet my deadlines, which is maybe about, right now, usually my I can't write much more than 1,500 words. For me, that's a lot. I know some writers can write 2,000, 5,000 a day, and that's not me. I hope someday I will be that person, but not yet. Another thing that really helps me a lot is to put on earphones. And when I have playlists for all of my books, and for every new book, even in the Remnant Chronicles, I create a new playlist. And I have different playlists for different moods, you know, the fast, the slow, the instrumental, the rockin' out. And I think I have like 300 songs for the Remnant Chronicles playlist, tons. And so I kind of pick moods I want to be in. But the minute I put those earphones in, it kind of blocks out the world and transports me back into the world that I've been working on. And then the other thing is just be willing to write badly. You know, always remember, revision is down the road. You can always revise, because sometimes it's just getting those first few words done. You know, I'll say, okay, just write 10 words. You write 10 words and you're kind of over that hump, and you keep going.
So those were some of the clips that I took of her, and I thought that'd be good to include in here since this is my writing vlog. When I was sitting there and I was watching her and I was seeing how all the fans were reacting to her, it just really motivated me, because I dream of that. What she was doing, signing books, answering questions, having people, you know, people like me who were so excited to meet her, that's what I want. That's my dream. I've actually been thinking a lot the past week and a half, I think, about maybe going back into the revision process for my Little Red Riding Hood story. I just have this feeling that I need to rework it a lot. I want to make it darker, and I thought like my first revisions that I did for it, I made it darker, but when I keep thinking about it, I feel like I didn't make it dark enough. And that's what I just really want to like set apart myself from every other YA fantasy retelling. I feel inadequate, of course, as always. I'm still very pumped about my YA political thriller. I'm still only at about 13,000, maybe 500 words, I think. I think I got through the first act, if that's possible, in the first 13,000 words, I don't know. But this is where everything, I don't want to say settles down, because it definitely doesn't. This is one of those books that will never stop being high adrenaline. If I wasn't so exhausted right now, because I drove a total of 6 hours there and back, I would definitely be writing right now. 9 o'clock right now, and I just want to go to bed. So right now it's almost 7 o'clock, and I am here in my office, and I'm doing some writing before I make dinner. I'm actually making myself write 2,000 words before I make dinner, and I have about less than 700 to go before I can make dinner, and I'm getting kind of hungry. On Word doc wise, I'm on page 60, which is really exciting. I just broke page 60, so I'm excited about that. Finally getting back into the actual writing of a writing vlog. I thought I'd kind of talk about right now the genre that my current work kind of fell into, and I don't want it to fall into that. I can see this book being marketed almost as dystopian, and I mean dystopian is clearly out when it comes to young adult fiction right now. It's just a little overused. When I originally pictured this book, it was more of a political thriller, which it's still very political, but it's starting to dance a little bit on the dystopian side, and I don't want that particularly because of the oversaturation of dystopian in YA. But the more I think about it, the more it's like the beginning of a dystopian. Like when you read dystopians and you're wondering how the world got there, this is how the world got there. That's what mine is right now. This is the story before, you know, the story hundreds of years from now, when a girl is trying to fix everything from the government. Right now I'm trying to tweak it more into, I don't know, I don't want to say science fiction, but a little bit more futuristic, I think. And I think that's something I would add more into on the second draft, because right now it's not translating as well. But I'm at 16,364 words, and that is a lot farther than I was earlier this week. So I actually still don't have Wi-Fi, and it is August 23rd. Still no Wi-Fi, that is just another issue I don't want to go into. I actually finally just got my couch in on Saturday, so I've been enjoying the couch life. I'm about to start writing again. I have my laptop there. I reached 18,000 words in my new project. I'm going to start calling my new project Jumper because that is part of the title that I've been kind of thinking about. So it's just the Jumper project, and that's doesn't really reveal anything. I put down my goal of 40,000 words down to 25,000 for the month of August. That I fucking better make my word count finally. If you guys are writers or you want to follow me, I do have an account on my Write Club, which I have been really updating. One of the things I did want to talk to you guys briefly about is that I did get another story idea. I got it about last week, but I haven't talked about it yet. Also kind of, I guess, a YA fantasy. Right now the setting is like very, very like in my head right now, and it's kind of inspired by the Industrial Revolution of America, and I just really like that setting and like just the way things are like going on in my head, but I'm gonna incorporate some magic into it probably. I don't know yet. One thing I do want to do is do a lot of research on the Industrial Revolution, and I don't have Wi-Fi, but my mom is an American history teacher, so she actually said she was gonna give me some of her lesson plans and some of her resources that she uses when she teaches the American Revolution. Didn't say that right. The Industrial Revolution. Probably don't know this, but I did get a minor in history for my bachelor's degree. Most of my history background comes from ancient Civ, so like Roman and Greek. That's like kind of like what my niche was in college. Took a lot of literature classes and history classes in that time period. This is gonna be really fun going back into researching. I love history. I love history. So last night I did hit 20,000 words in my new manuscript. I'm so happy with that milestone. I feel like 20,000 is so many words, and I didn't think I was going to do it last night because last night I was really, really stressed out from work as per usual, and I also had a splitting headache, but I wanted to hit that 20,000 because I was about 600 words shy, and I thought I can do this. I decided to like kind of make my bedroom like super, I don't know, like the vibes that I wanted to have while I was writing last night were like just comfy, but also kind of dark. Not in like an evil dark way, but just dark in like a lighting type way. So what I ended up doing was I lit some candles and I put them on my dresser. Also wanted to write to sound, but I didn't want to listen to any music because I just didn't want my headache to bring back from my head. That did not make sense. Anyway, so what I decided to end up doing was that on my iPod I have this app that I've always had. It's called the White Noise app. This app is kind of, I mean, it just kind of has like ambient kind of sounds just to kind of like have in the background. I used it a lot when I had trouble sleeping when I was in high school. So the one that I chose to listen to was Campfire. So it kind of like had like the sound of like a campfire going on in the background. So with that, and then the lights, and then it was raining last night, which was perfect because I love rain. I love that kind of weather. And I just wrote and I hit the 20,000 word mark, and I'm so excited. So today I've done a lot of good things. So I decided, as you guys know, I broke 20,000 words on my new project, was feeling very inspired by that, so I decided to brainstorm for my new project. It's almost September, which means it's basically November, and November is NanoWriMo. So I've been thinking about maybe pursuing, well, fingers crossed, I'm gonna be done with my first draft of my second book I've written by November. Like, that's my goal for sure. I better be done by then. But I need to start planning and researching and outlining for my new project because I think I'm gonna do this industrialized, revolutionized fantasy YA book for my NanoWriMo project in November. So I wanted to kind of word vomit what I was thinking in my head, like the immediate thoughts that I've had in my brain for this project, this third project, this new project. I need to come up with a code name for it. I sat down at my desk and I wrote. And I've said this multiple times before, but when I brainstorm, I definitely need to do it on a notebook with a pen. I cannot brainstorm on my computer. It's just not possible. That's what I did. I wrote down kind of the basic paragraph plot, I feel like, of what I was thinking of what this is going to be like, and also the characters that I'm thinking. I didn't flesh out the characters at all. I just kind of wrote who I want to tell the story. When I first thought of it, I thought of 2 characters and the world. The plot didn't come until about last week-ish, earlier this week. I feel like I had an idea and I'm like, ooh, girl, remember that. The brainstorming is my favorite part of the writing process, just to kind of get it all out there and write and just think of new things. Tonight, I'm probably going to write a little bit more. When I gotta hit 21,000 words, I'm about 20,500, which is doable. Aim low to achieve high. That's my new motto. Today's Saturday and I don't have to work. I decided to get up early today to kind of start my day because I filmed some videos last night. So I wanted to go to a place today so I could upload those videos and schedule them, so I felt like I was kind of getting back into a normal schedule for video making. I got up early today. I made some breakfast. I made an omelet. Those are my one specialty for breakfast. And then I did do a little bit of writing today here in my living room because I had, my window open, and I just like that feeling in the morning, the morning noise of the morning. It's just really relaxing to me. After I wrote a little bit, then I decided to go to the library. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get a whole bunch of writing in at the library, but I am really glad that I went because there was, free Wi-Fi and I was able to upload some videos. I'm thinking this is the second to last update. This is the last day of August and I have 1,600 words to write. I am really happy with where I'm at right now. 1,600 till I meet my goal of 25,000 for the month, and that's going to be happening. I brought my laptop out here. I'm currently in my living room and I am making dinner and going to be writing. So pumped for fall. Fall is my favorite season. I ended up getting a candle, Spice Pumpkin from Yankee Village Candle. Not rich enough to get Yankee Candle yet, guys. And I don't even like pumpkin pie or anything, but just the smell reminds me of Thanksgiving, and I'm really excited for fall. I'm gonna light this, gonna do some writing, and then I will update you guys when I hit my goal, because that's the whole point of this video. And 1,600 words have been completed. So my new total is 25,018 words. So happy I completed a goal. I feel like this is the first real goal I've completed in a few months. I was actually struggling there for about the last hour I was writing. I was getting so tired because I feel so old saying this, but it's 11:13 right now, and I'm usually in bed by now. For next month, my goal is going to be to write up to 35,000. I could probably write more, but I don't exactly want to right now. I just don't want to be disappointed again if I don't make a word count goal. I don't know, I have my outline for this, and I have a feeling that some of my scenes are too boring, and I don't want that, because I have super action scenes, and then I don't want to say super boring scenes. I don't think they're boring. I mean, I feel like in a book that is primarily action, you need those down points to build character and the relationships. So I'm hoping the pacing is good in this book. I have originally thought that this book would be a duology, but I'm just wondering, I just don't know what the word count is going to be. Once I have a vision of how this part would end, but I don't know at what point in the word count that would be. Would it be in the 70,000s, which is what I'm hoping for, or would it be earlier than that? And in that case, I'd have to add more scenes, and then I might need to change my ending. I have the vision of the ending, which is super spoilery too, obviously, so I really can't say what it is. But then, could I go a couple more chapters beyond that? I don't know. I guess we'll see once I get there. Also, I'm having more visions of my new project that I want to work on. Next month is going to be great. I can already feel it in myself. I'm excited to write more. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys have done. If you are writers, what have you guys done this month? I'd love to know. I will see you guys all in my next video.